Right, so I'm just going to start the laptop off, and the screen should come up in a moment as soon as the HDMI port's activated by the Intel driver. And there it is. So I'm going to log in as the normal user, and in theory, if I type start X, I should get a graphical front end come up, and there's a nice oh, you can't see it actually. What's happened, looks like the screen has been extended, so you can see the clock but you can't see the windows. So let me drag them across. So that's the login window, and rather confusingly the screens are on the wrong side. Never mind. There's one of the terminals that gets created, and there's the other one. So, and this is the menu that is created, and what I'm going to do under here is you can reverse the video, and it just makes the colours, the bright colours, easy to read. Some of the colours are a bit difficult to read on the white background. What did I set there? I set something by accident. Auto wraparound it was. And also can make the fonts a bit bigger as well. So it looks like the default's large. Let's try normal. Oh, that's not working for some reason. Not sure why that's not working. Usually it does. That's strange. That's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, don't know why that is. Oh, they're going disabled, so maybe the fonts can't be found for some reason. So maybe an issue there, a configuration issue. But not to worry about that, at least you can see something on the screen. So to start Steam off, just type. So to start Steam off, just type Steam. And because it's a launcher, it's got to install the main Steam client. So it needs to download that. So I'll wait for that to finish. Okay, so you can see the package is now installing itself. Okay, the Windows actually appeared, the login Windows actually appeared on the other screen. So again, this is the laptop one's obviously the default screen, so I'll just move that across. So that's what's just appeared. So I need to sign in with some details. Okay. Right, seems like I'm in now, so okay, it's just moved the actual window off screen again. So there's the main window. So you might recognize that as the main client. It's come up with a special offers window to prove that works, to get you to buy stuff, and also friends list windows come up as well. So that's all working. So let's get rid of that one and that one. And if I go to my library, I should have Factorio demo on there yet. So I'm going to get that installing. It's 166 gigabytes, so it's is it 166 gig? Can't be that much. 100 megabytes maybe. Where does it say? Oh, 1.4 gigabytes. Yeah, so it's going to take maybe, I don't know, 10 or 20 minutes. So I'll wait for that to finish now. Okay, so that's downloaded and installed. Let's see if I can get that to run and appear actually on this screen rather than the main screen. So it looks like it's forcing some additional downloads. So I'll just wait for those to complete. Now, as this is a demo, this is going to be the latest version. I'm not sure if this is 64-bit or 32-bit, but I would guess it's going to be a 64-bit, but at least you can see the Steam's working, which is at least partially 32-bit, so that's working. There's no information appearing there at all about this. Yeah, it's moved to the other screen. Luckily it's windowed, so I can drag it across to here. And you can see it's running. Let's see if I can view that status window there. See if there's any information. Right, this is output from Factorio itself. So let's see what it says. Yeah, Linux 64. So it is running in 64-bit, this program. But as I say, Steam itself, I believe, is partly 32-bit. So it won't be until we get onto Wine that I can run a 32-bit version of Factorio to prove beyond doubt that we're running 32 bits on the 64-bit system. But this still is a good demonstration. The fact we've got Steam working, that the instructions we've followed so far have worked. So I'll just go in, start a new game. Right, yes, I did notice this when I was testing this, that the cursor position and where it recognises its position is slightly offset. So what I tried doing, and it may be the way you'd want to run Steam, is if I come out of this, in fact I'll just shut it down from here. What we can do is edit. Well, it'd probably be best to edit the personal Xinit RC, which I haven't got notes on how to do now, where the location is, but the global one, which would have to do sudo, is in etc x11 app defaults xinit. I think, let's try the personal one actually. I think it's just .xinit rc, if I remember correctly. and type in exec/user/bin/steam login. That will execute Steam as the login process every time we run StartX, what it should do. Let's see if it works. Well, the fact it's taking a long time for anything to come up, yes, it has worked. And again, it's appeared on the main screen, unfortunately. So when I've got a window that I can drag, it's just logging into screen. Oh, it's remembered this position. Right, okay, that's good. So I can get that. So as you can see, we've just logged straight in. I haven't typed anything else and it's logged into Steam. And I can go into the game from here, and I think this works better, as I remember. Right, it's actually gone full screen on the main laptop window now, rather than windowed. So when it's loaded, I'll see about getting it onto this screen. So yeah, it's kind of a bit flaky with two screens. There's obviously more configuration come up, which is a bit unfortunate because I'm going to have to faff around a bit to get it to be on the screen so you can see it. Right, it's nearly there. So let's try it now. No, it's still offset, unfortunately. So that may be an issue that needs to be resolved. So what I'm going to do is just go to the options and see if I can do anything about the graphics. Right, preferred screen, primary screen. So if I set that to screen 2 and confirm that. Yep, that's better. That switches. So, alright, so now it's working. The cursor's actually behaving correctly over the correct buttons, so that's interesting. So whether that's because I've explicitly set the screen or not, I don't know. Also noticed on the graphics setting there's an option there to use Wayland as well. So, and as well as other options. So I'm not going to bother doing anything else. I'll just start a quick game so I can see how well it plays on an Intel card, and it looks fairly smooth actually, considering it's a 10-year-old Intel GPU. It's quite smooth. Let's have a run. Yeah, that's not too bad actually. I mean, it's probably not got the settings at the top. I noticed one of the settings, it said the graphics were low quality textures. I imagine if I stuck this on high quality, it would make a difference. Was that a restart as well, was it? Yes, it was. So let's restart and see what difference that makes. But you can see why the NVIDIA would make a greater difference to the smoothness of the graphics. It's just unfortunate I can't demonstrate that to you. You can see the age of the machine, how long this takes to load. It's normally a lot quicker than this. Oh, interestingly, it's gone funny again. So let me go into the graphics. Let me change this back to the first screen. Yeah, that seems to fix it by switching the screens. So if I bring it back to the second screen, you can see the cursor. So there may be some... Oh, no, it's gone off again. It seems to be when it starts then. So let me come out of this. I would estimate or guess that it's probably an issue with Xorg. Something needs to be configured. Maybe something to do with DPI or screen resolution or something like that, to stop that behaving like that. Oh, this has come back to this screen, I've just noticed. Even though... Oh yes, I did set it on that. Right, okay, I won't bother anymore with it then. I'll just get it into the game, run around a bit again, and then we'll move on. Yeah, it's like, it's more accurate. It just highlights just below that button, but down here, I know it's about the same. So yeah, even with the high textures, it seems quite reasonable. Yeah, so this is a tutorial, so that's why the land is limited. It's normally effectively infinite. So as you can see, it's quite reasonably playable. It's a little bit jerky, but not too bad. Oh yeah, the top of the screen's missing. There's clearly a slight configuration problem here. This black border's not right. So let's see if we can click on that. Yeah, that's not registering correctly. Okay, let's leave it at that. It's working. It's just, as I say, needs some further configuration or tweaking to get working perfectly. But as you can see, that's working. It's not running without errors or with errors, and Steam's working, and that's working well as well. You can see, you can go. All these other options are working well. Go to the store, and so on. So that's all good. So to come out of this, I'll have to do exit because it's the login process, and it should drop me back at the prompt. Okay, so that's Steam up and running. So what I'm going to do next is to move on to Wine. That's got some heavy duty compiling to do because there's a compiler that needs to be built, and some other bits and pieces in. The compiler has to be built in several stages, as I understand. I didn't quite understand it the first time round. Hopefully I'll understand it a bit better the second time round, but it does need to be built several times, 64-bit and 32-bit. So there is still quite a bit of work to be done to get Wine going. But as you can see, Steam was very basic on top of the basic windowing system.